So here we are with the Benetton Ford B188 in 1/43 scale from Hella. Now, as you can see, it's moulded in yellow, just sanding down some of the rough edges, mould seams, things like that. Now, it was primed in Tamiya white, and then I did this green section in Tamiya Park Green TS35 using spray can. Now, the masking and painting is going to look a little bit disjointed here because the first time I did it, the masking actually peeled up a bunch of the paint, so I had to strip it and do it again. But you can see what I've done here. I'm basically masking it, so I'm just painting the green section. This was the first time I did it, which includes the roll hoop on the top. I also drilled these little holes in the side so that I can fabricate some wing mirrors later on. I'm recreating Thierry Boutsen's car from 1988. However, it's a bit strange because the box art actually shows this car from 1987. However, there aren't decals in the kit for that version. The decals also were a little bit worn out, so I bought some replacements. These are from Le Mans Decals, which is a Spanish company. Here you can see me using TS35 again for the nose cone section. I've masked off the rest. Now, I decided to do all of these in different sections rather than painting it all green, as I was worried about how intense that colour is and how well the red and blue would show off over the top of it. I then masked off the rest and did the blue section. This is X14 Sky Blue, thinned about 50/50 with Mr. Colour levelling thinner 400. You can see how I'd already done the yellow section under there as well. That's actually Pro Scales paint Camel Yellow. Next thing to do is the red on top of the side pods. There you are, you can see that's been masked off. And here I'm using Italian red. With any F1 car like this, you need to be careful to mask off around vents and things like that. Because of the open cockpit and side pods and stuff, you can quite easily get bleeds through some of the sections. Found there was a little bit of red on the inside of the cockpit, which I was able to remove with just a little bit of polish. Then these intakes were also painted in camel yellow. Make sure you get them the right way round. And I used a very, very small amount of super glue just to attach these. You need to be careful not to damage any of that paintwork. I really like this livery, I think it's really vibrant. Here are the replacement decals from Le Mans Decals. These are all on one continuous sheet, so you need to cut them all out individually. And I'd be careful to do that because the carrier film is quite thick, so try to get it as close as possible. Some of them could be kept together like these side pod ones. It's quite good because you can get them on the same sort of plane. Using a bit of Mr. Mark Setter and then a damp cotton bud just to roll them into place. As I say, this is number 20, which is Thierry Boutsen's car. Some like these on the nose are the right size for the kit. There we are. Benefit of getting the aftermarket is that they do come with the fill-in tobacco sponsors. Very small sponsorship on this one though. As I said, try to be careful and trim away as much of the carrier film as possible, especially on ones like these colours decals that go on the upper section of the side pods. This Rielo one here actually wants to go around onto the lower section. So what I did was I folded it over to the inside of this upper section. You can see here, being a setting solution really helped with that. And then I painted the lower section red to match it, as you can see here, just behind the front suspension. You can see there's a little bit of red goes onto the lower section there. Again, that sort of chevron shape. Had this little electrical cutoff and fire extinguisher sheet here. Just added one to the roll hoop here where it would be on the real car. Then after letting the decals settle for a couple of days, I clear coated it with some Tamiya lacquer clear gloss. Now onto the driver. Driver's made up of two pieces. As you can see, the front of the head is like so. This does present a bit of a mould seam. You can sort of sand that down. It's then painted in green with a black helmet, and I used a bit of this pale flesh tone for the face section, and a bit of red matte for the seatbelts. I also went over the helmet with a bit of clear gloss as well, and added a bit of silver to the belt buckles. Now this is the original decal sheet. You can see these are a bit worse for wear. The helmet decal here with these Belgian colours, they did split quite a bit, so I tried as delicately as possible to patch them together. I think that's not bad. Now the rear wing here has been painted in kind of satin black. It's important to trim these as best as possible to help them fit. Again, just using that damp cotton bud to push it into place. There was a bit of sanding needed on this rear wing to smooth out some of the injection points. There we are. And you've got a little Ford oval goes below that. Front wing was done with yellow end plates. I think the number 19 car had red ones. This again was done in yellow, and then I masked off the end plates and did the rest in satin black. Now these decals that go on the end plates are actually too big, so I found that they needed to be trimmed a little bit. This was a bit annoying, but you know, I often find that with these aftermarket decals in 1/43, it's difficult getting the scale exactly right. I'm not sure how accurate Hella was with the original designs. Now the wheels were all done in satin black as well. I've added a little bit of silver just to do the centre locking wheel nuts. Tried to sand down these wheels a little bit, and because of age I think they'd got a bit sort of dirty and greasy, so I rubbed them down. And here you've got these metal axles to attach them onto. Good idea to put these on before doing the decals. Now the ones in the kit, again, because they're all on one continuous sheet, they need to be cut out really carefully. These are all exactly the same size though. However, there were only enough for the outside of the tyres, so I managed to salvage some original decals to go on the inside of the tyres as well. Then, after the base has been clear coated, I did the seat in matte black and these carbon fibre sections, I think they're carbon fibre anyway, in satin black. This is just from Revell. There's also this vent here which goes around the back by the engine cover. That needs to be black too. And the base was done black as well. I think the suspension arms look a little bit chunky, and you could replace them with something thinner if you really wanted to, but I'm keeping them as is. Steering wheel goes into the cockpit. And then to add the wing mirrors. Now I had this styrene rod here, which I cut into small sections, and then sanded it down to make it flat on one side. This wasn't easy, but I was still pretty pleased with how it turned out. Used this very, very fine drill bit to create holes. Cut it to the right length. And then attached a very, very thin metal rod. I got this from Jeweler's Supply to connect that to these little arms. That was then bent to shape around a pair of tweezers, and then here's a little test fit. I painted that in with some more of the green paint and put some silver on the back for the mirror. There we are, happy with that. When I cut the arm to the right length, I put a small amount of superglue gel. Need to be careful with this because I'm a bit worried about damaging the paint, but I think I got away with it this time. Then did another one for the other side. It's funny because some of these kits, including the McLaren, the Lotus and the Williams, actually came with wing mirrors, but this one didn't. Now for the visor, this is a bit of clear plastic tube that comes to protect some of the paint brushes that I bought. And I found that cutting it to the right size made it the perfect diameter to go around the driver's helmet here. And I actually didn't even use any glue for this, it just stayed on because it was the right shape. Small amount of super glue onto his bum to stick him into place. Need to do this before putting the bodywork on. And then slot the wheels in. And roof over the top. Small amount of poly cement at the front and rear when I was happy with the wheels in the right place. Sandwiches this all together. Make sure the paint's all cured, of course, because you don't want to leave any fingerprints. You can check the wheels turn if you want, but it's not really necessary. Front wing goes on underneath the nose cone. And then the rear wing goes on like so. And there it is, almost finished. Next, there are some small wire supports that go on the front and rear wing. So again, I cut some more of that thin wire, which I'd used for the wing mirrors. Cut it the right length and then slotted it just in here at the front. And then some more sections here. And there we are, it's pretty much finished. Final touch was just to add some silver pen and then some red marker over the top to do the rain light on the back. And there we are, it's finished. I enjoy these little 1/43rd F1 kits from Hella. They're a little lacking in detail, maybe by modern standards, but I'm looking to do the 1/20th Tamiya kit, which I have in the stash, at some point, and this gave me a bit of a primer for what the future might hold. Here it is with the Ferrari from '88 as well. Thanks a lot for watching. Let me know what you think. Would you build one of these? Are you a fan of these Benetton liveries? Thanks a lot for watching. Like, share and subscribe. So forth. I'll see you soon.